have a conversation about legalized prostitution another time, which would probably, stop some of this stuff. If people could, take the money out of it. But it just, someone else is going to, this just means that other assholes, traffickers, now see vacuums.
Yep.
And I hope they have something in place to try and figure that out. Because, another 4 years from now, how long does it take to do this? It's just,
Let me ask you something, though, okay? Because this comes up occasionally on the show, and I really, really do want to say this. We have talked about legalizing prostitution because, again, I don't have a judgment on it, but I wonder if it would make it easier for these trafficking rings to proliferate and remain in existence. That is a question that I have. If it were legal, I don't know. Would it help or hurt that part of it? Because I can think in terms of, individuals and whatnot, but you know what I mean?
When you think about like legalized pot in Amsterdam and stuff like that, I don't know. I'd have to, go research to see whether or not there's still an underground trade.
Yeah.
It's going through there.
Yeah.
But generally, especially in the United States, if you take the money out of something,
yep,
you shut it down.
Right.
You need to take, so when you stop the money flow, you stop the other stuff. And I think that if someone could legally put up a shingle somewhere and open this was their job.
Yeah.
Then they don't need, someone to, there's some place for the person who would have bought the traffic person to go that's not illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone say you decrease. A lot of times it's frustrating that it comes down to money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think if you shut down the money on stuff, then you shut down a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, it's entirely possible. I just, this kind of stuff, I just feel it's not fair. I feel bad for anybody who's victimized really in any way, but I feel worse for people that were stolen.
Yeah.
That didn't, I don't know. It's just, it's harsh. It's really hard. Did you lose your headphones? Did you?
I lost the right ear, but the left ear's here.
Okay. This is weird. Mm-hmm. Okay. We've got some technical difficulties here.
But it was just the weird. I'm like,
I know. We both kind of looked at each other for a second. Okay. So finally today, let's, leading into prostitution, there's a therapist selling the healing power of sex with a stranger. It says it's not prostitution. This taking place in Tel Aviv, Israel. Colleen, you want to take this one?
Like I said, I saw the headline, so I did a little Googling. And the premise is, I think, a valid one. If you need sex therapy, but you are not in a relationship, who are you supposed to have the sex therapy with? There's only so much you can do if someone is that awkward about, you've got the intimacy issues, but then there's the, once you get that, there's also a physical aspect to it.
Yeah.
And so this the woman is Roni Alane?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
And she set up this practice, and they've got therapists, they've got people come once a week, and it's a months long, years long process. And my favorite part of the article was the fact that it's just no way that someone's paying for sex, because there's too much therapy beforehand and it's too damned expensive. There's a lot cheaper ways. I'm paraphrasing here. There's a lot cheaper ways to get laid than to go to a sex therapy. But I get it. If you're not in a couple, how do you get sex therapy?
Yeah. No, it actually. Yeah. I have no problem with it.
And then you got this, surrogacy, and I really thought, she's got 30 sex therapists, she's got physiotherapists, social workers, doctors. There's more of those, folks than there is the actual, the surrogates, and it's men and women. It's a really sort of a whole approach. Because sometimes you got to stop talking and just do it.
Right. No, I get it.
Where you get through.
One thing I was surprised to learn in here, Colleen, was that it is legal. It is legal to pay and charge for sex in Israel. That surprised me. Mm-hmm. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know. I mean,
and it was such a sort of a throwaway in the art. You know, you just like, dude, and I backed up a little bit, and I went, okay. And that's why it's, like I said, that's why she said it's a lot. This is way too expensive. There's other places to get.
Well, yeah, the cost of this is more than half the average per month. More than half the average Israeli salary. So you got to really be committed to solving your issue, when you talk about all the benefits and all the happiness and all the things that sex can bring to your life, why wouldn't it be worth it and to be a priority?
Yeah, I mean, because we've, bottled so many things up. People need help.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
You do too today, don't you?
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Like I said, I'm really good at organizing and I'm getting through it, but it's going to be, I'm, going to have some fun this weekend. Going to fly out to Vegas and pick up a car and drive it back. And
that'll be neat.
So get to drive.
So you won't be here next Tuesday?
No, I'll be here Tuesday. We're coming back Monday.
Oh gosh.
We're hauling ass back.
You're coming straight back.
Yeah, we're coming straight back.
Well, I can't wait to hear about your road trip. Swing by one of the legal brothels if you get a chance. Tell everybody we said hi.
Oh, I've honestly always been curious
about
stopping by one of them and stuff like that. I don't, but what I'm mostly interested in is I just want to see mountains. I like oceans and I like mountains, but we don't have a lot of those in Minnesota.
No, you're going to come back through Colorado then?
We're going to go through Utah and then Wyoming because I was looking at the two different routes and there's a lot more construction stuff
that
I can see online. And although tomorrow I will be heading over to AAA and getting still getting a paper trip ticket. They still exist. They're still handy and you still want a map. Because if I'm behind a mountain and my GPS, and the GPS is blocked or my phone is blocked.
Ooh, good point.
You still need to know where the hell you're going.
Okay, a triptych. God, a blast from the past.
I love those. A map, because the thing is, you open it up, you look at it, it's bigger. You can say, hey, I'm actually closer to this city than I thought. I mean, a paper map. I mean, my daughter's learning how to drive, and she was trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And I'm like, and it shows, I went the wrong way on 35, and then I went the wrong way in 94, and then they're using their Google Maps. And so, and I said, I have to get you a paper map of the cities. I need to show you where the house is. You need the
contextual orientation.
Yeah, she's okay, with, like, okay, I know where north is and all that sort of stuff, but she needs an idea of how 494, 694, 94 work together.
Sure.
She needs the idea of, what the hell, what's the difference between 35E and 35W?
Well, yeah. When I first moved here from California, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Why did they do that?
And especially since it took like 30 years for them to get 35E to go all the way through because they had to make it a parkway. So funny. And just different, things you had to do. But just to have an idea that if you see something that says, if you live, in Minneapolis and you're getting on a thing, you should not go the direction that says St. Paul. If you're getting home. These are the things that you should know.
Sure.
And, but when you're learning how to drive, you don't know these things.
For sure.
I have people can give me bad directions and I'll just look at them and go, that's not right. And I'll figure out where I'm going. Mm-hmm. I'm really good at that shit. Some people are not. So you need, going through there. I mean, I get that.
True.
I know my mom still doesn't quite understand north, south, east, west, 494, 694.
My mother never did either.
And that's fine. I mean, she doesn't get lost in her own house. I've seen news stories on that where people actually get, like, they wake up in the middle of the night and can't find they'll get to the bathroom but can't find their bedroom again. And they've done scans of their brains when they're doing things. And that part of the brain, it just doesn't light up. And I'm like, okay, so I know that it can be worse, but it is. I'm like, how long have you lived here? But just not everybody has the same skill set. I mean, I get it.
But once again, we're inclusive here on the Great Northern Sexcast.
I just am. And I'm sure I have massive blind spots. I'm sure that I say stupid things sometimes, but I really try and learn. I'm like, well, I'm more than willing to be wrong.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I will say that for you.
I am more than willing to be wrong about shit.
Mm-hmm. But you do know your sex toys?
Yes, I do know my sex toys. Actually, my employees know the sex toys better.
That's true.
I've got the reps going, I said, you got to talk to Tara and the folks in there. And they're just like, these folks know their stuff. I'm like, yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah, they really do. I got so many lovely compliments from the company reps and the questions and stuff like that. And, it just, and I got to meet some new, some different folks. And it was so much fun.
Well, and that's that's a good point. If you are like some of those British people and you're intimidated by lube or conversation, don't feel bad asking any Fantasy Gifts employee about that, because they'll talk your ear off, won't they?
Well, they will gauge and figure out how much of your ear you want, talked, and then they will talk.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point.
But, you can, like I said, there's customer, you can customer service at customer service@fantasygifts.com. It's sort of long. But if you really want to be even slightly more, because I don't keep anybody's email, I don't do any of that crap. So if you've got a question, you can ask a question. And we'll find, we'll get the information to you.
Okay.
And if I don't know, and if the best information is not from us, let's say the best information's from CDC or Planned Parenthood or Scarlet Teen or someplace else, I'll send you there. I'm not, I'm not the, the keeper of the information.
That's true. That's a really good point, that you can email questions anytime if you're shy or whatnot. Customer service at fantasygifts.com. And you guys are pretty cool about that stuff. You are. Yep. Well, drive safe and fly safe.
Oh, it's going to be, I just want to see it's going to be so much fun.
And you're in a new car. Congratulations.
It's going to be fun. Vroom, vroom.